All right. Beautiful. Through your practice, today's practice is a deep stretch in a yin style of yoga. Being mindful of your depth in your stretch in yin yoga is extremely important. You don't want to stretch too far. Stretching too far can be as dangerous as lifting something that's too heavy. You can really injure yourself. So you really want to be mindful of how deep you're stretching today in your practice. For a rule of thumb, if your breath is compromised, you're probably in too deep. If you're able to use your breath to let go, to relax into the posture, you're fine. But if you find the body is gripping, trying to protect itself, you are in too deep and you need to modify, come out a little bit, take out the intensity out of the stretch itself. So keep those things in mind when you're moving into different stages of depth, as I'll try to give as many different levels of depth as I can as we move through. So let's begin. You can use a towel. I really like to put a rolled up towel underneath me in my lower back to help with the lumbar curve, just because I've spent too much time slouching. So now I'm trying to correct my posture by using a towel in my lower back. So feel free to incorporate that into your practice if you want. You can lay flat on your back. If there's any discomfort in the lower back and you don't have a towel, you can bend the knees, placing your feet flat to the floor. Maybe even allowing the knees to fall in towards one another. Let the eyes gently close. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Allow the body to settle. Surrendering your weight to the mat below you. Pull your awareness into the present moment. Find the tension held in your body and consciously let it go with the exhale. If the mind's wandering, acknowledge your thoughts, the emotions connected to it, and the physical reaction to your emotion. When you're ready, with the exhale, let it all fade to the background, sinking back into awareness of the present moment. On your next inhale, invite small movements to the body, wiggling the fingers and toes, rolling into the wrists and ankles. Gently rock the head from side to side. Slowly reach your hands and feet away from one another, stretching through the full body. Lower the arms to your sides, bend the knees, place your feet flat to the ground. Gently rock the knees from side to side. Coming to center. If the towel becomes uncomfortable, if you're using it, you can remove it at any time. Moving into our first posture, figure four. Drape the right ankle over top of the left knee. Having the towel in the lower back increases the angle of the hips, making this stretch deeper. If you want to get deeper, draw the left foot in closer to the glute. You can even press the right hand to the right thigh. If you're looking to go deeper, placing a block or a bolster underneath the left foot. You want to feel this in the right side, in the right hip. Maybe into the back of the right leg. You can get even deeper by drawing the right heel down towards the left hip. Your breath is your best friend. Using your exhales to let go of tension. Slowly and gently coming out of the posture, uncrossing the leg, placing your feet flat to the floor. Gently rock the knees from side to side. Moving to the opposite side. Draping the left ankle over top of the right ankle. Relaxing through the left hip. Finding the depth that's appropriate for you. You'd be pressing the left hand to the left thigh. Maybe lifting your heel. You want to try to stay as relaxed as possible. If you normally interlace your fingers behind the thigh to draw the foot in or draw the knee in, I suggest that you find something underneath your foot high enough to give you that same depth so you're not constantly holding with your hands. Really focusing on your exhale, letting go of tension. Slowly and gently coming out of the posture, uncrossing, placing your feet flat to the floor. If the towel is underneath you, gently removing it. Draw your knees into the chest. Try to interlace the fingers around your knees. Gently rock from side to side. Trying to keep the legs from belly button all the way down to the toes nice and relaxed. Gentle rocks. Coming into our twist, trying to keep a 90-degree angle between belly and thigh. Open the arms into a T or bending at the elbow if you're limited for space. On your exhale, let the knees sink to the right. You may not get very far. Your feet may land and your knees may be hovering. If that's the case and your legs can't settle, use a block, a towel, or maybe a bolster if you have one underneath the thighs. If the legs are deeper but still can't settle, sliding a block or bolster underneath the knees, maybe underneath, in between the knees, maybe even a combination of both. The top leg in place. If you want to get even deeper, extend the right leg, the bottom leg, straight down the mat.
You want to make sure you're on the right hip. You're letting the arm drop out behind you. If this becomes troublesome for the shoulder or chest, support the shoulder with a bolster or block. Surrender to stillness. Let go of tension with your exhale. Inhale to slowly draw the knees back up to center. Pausing at center. Either feet flat to the floor or interlacing the fingers around the knees. When your body's ready, using your exhale to lower the knees to the left side, whether you're supporting with blocks or bolsters, maybe holding the top leg in place, knees together, or extending the bottom leg long. Find the depth that's appropriate for you.
It's normal for the body to feel like it's trying to protect itself once you're relaxed. Try to use your breath, ease that tension. If the body can't settle, modify your posture. Come out a tiny bit. Use blocks or bolsters. The body might tense up when it gets deeper and deeper into tension. Inhale to slowly draw the knees back up the center. Feet flat to the floor, or knees drawn into the chest, interlacing the fingers around them, gently rocking from side to side. Slowly coming to center. Placing your feet flat to the floor. Let the knees roll to one side. And press yourself up. Moving into a supine position. Moving into a child's pose with the knees drawn in towards one another. Typically, child's pose, your knees are apart and you're laying as flat as you can. We're trying to find a little bit of rounding through the spine. You may need a cushion or a pillow if this is too intense. Placing the cushion in between the legs and gently rolling yourself down, head turned to one side, extending the arms out. Trying to relax the spine as much as you can. If this is too intense for your knees, you can place a cushion on top of the calf muscle underneath the thigh to take out some of the aggressiveness out of the knees. If this is still not helping, you're better off to move into a puppy pose, keeping your hip over the knee, dropping down to the elbows and relaxing the spine, letting the belly sink. If it's appropriate for your shoulders and you're opting for puppy pose, you can extend the arms out and let the chest sink to the floor. This can be much more intense for the shoulders and chest. But if you can, try to move into a rounded spine in child's pose. If your cushion is not big enough, you can support with blocks. Try to relax the shoulders. Ease the breath. Slow, calm, deep inhale through the nose into the belly. If your head's been turned in one direction, slowly and gently turning it to the opposite direction. Notice if the mind is wandering. Try to stay focused on the breath.
Slowly draw your hands underneath the shoulders and press yourself away from the ground, lifting into a tabletop.
Palms on the shoulders, knees under hips, pulling through a few cat-cows. Inhale to roll the hips, the belly sinks. Open the heart and look up, pressing into the hands. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, head sinks between the arms. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Slowly coming into a neutral spine. If there's any props underneath you or next to you, moving them out of the way. Moving into a twisted puppy pose. Posting on the right hand, left arm threads between the right arm and right leg. Let the shoulder drop to the floor, pulling the shoulder down towards the knees. The left ear is reaching towards the front edge of the mat. Trying to find a deep stretch through the left side of the neck and a twist through the spine. You really want to be concentrating on the neck primarily. If you want, extending the right arm long. If you want to deepen the twist, reaching the arm behind you, reaching for the left inner thigh. Draw the right hand underneath the shoulder. Press yourself up, grounding through the left palm. Moving to the opposite side. Right arm threading underneath. Shoulders sinking to the floor and down towards the knees. Right ear reaching up towards the edge of the mat. Maybe extending the left arm long or reaching behind the back, reaching for the right inner thigh. Draw your left hand underneath the shoulder. Press yourself up into your tabletop. Make your way into a seated position. Legs extended long. Make your way to your back. Lying flat on your back. Bend the knees. Feet flat to the floor. Moving into a side opener. Let the right knee drop open, opening the hip. Then slide the right foot underneath the left leg. The left hand will reach down, grabbing the right foot. The torso starts to lean to the left, but that's perfectly fine. That's what we're looking for. You can get deeper by pulling the foot closer to the edge of the mat or reaching the right arm overhead. You're looking for a stretch from the top of the knee all the way up the right side into the armpit and maybe even into the fingertips if you're extending the arm. If you want to get even deeper, use your head to walk your shoulders further to the left, creating a deeper C shape through the spine. If you're having a hard time grabbing your foot, you can use a strap or a belt to hold the foot. Make sure the right knee is not right up in the air. You're trying to relax that right leg as much as you can.